First contact deception. The holographic display aboard the T's Meridian filled the bridge with an eerie blue glow as Commander Sarah Chen studied the approaching vessels. Their sleek, crystalline designs marked them as Arkan ships, the self-proclaimed masters of Therian Arm 3. Massive dreadnoughts, each easily dwarfing her modest exploration. Vessel moved with predatory grace through the void, status report shorted, keeping her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. This wasn't just another first contact scenario. This was the moment humanity had spent the last century preparing for. Lieutenant Rodriguez adjusted his neural interface and brought up the sensor readings. Arterian vessels maintaining approach vector. Their weapons are powered, but not targeted. Energy signatures suggest Shield Class 6 technology, exactly as our long-range intel indicated. Sarah hallowed herself a small smile. For decades, humanity had intercepted and analyzed Arkan communications, studied their technology from afar, and built up an elaborate facade of being a young, struggling space-themed species. The Meridian itself was part of that deception. A vessel deliberately designed to look precisely as advanced as the Aryans would expect. From a primitive race there, hailing as Communications Officer P announced, her fingers dancing across the haptic interface, standard Arterian diplomatic frequencies on screen. Sarah commanded, straightening her uniform. The holographic display shifted, revealing a tall alabaster-skinned figure with 4 arms and bioluminescent markings that pulsed with barely contained superiority. Greetings, vessels of Earth. The Arrowan spoke their translator, converting the crystalline sounds into smooth English. I am High Marshal Vex Thor. Of the Arkan Empire, we have been observing your species' fumbling steps into the cosmos with great interest. Sarah bowed slightly, playing her role perfectly. High Marshal, I am Commander Chen of the Terran Exploration Service. We are honored by your presence. Vex Thor's upper arms moved in what their intelligence suggested was a gesture of dismissal. Yes, well, your species has finally managed to achieve faster than light travel. However primitive your methods may be, the Empire has decided it's time to welcome you into the galactic community. Behind Sarah, her crew maintained their carefully crafted appearance of awe and nervousness. None of them betrayed any sign that humanity's true FTL capabilities had surpassed the Arcan crystal drive technology decades. Ego, we're grateful for the Empire's recognition, Sarah responded, adding just the right touch of eagerness to her voice. Our people have so much to learn indeed, Vex. Thor's bioluminescent patterns flickered with amusement. Your species will be granted Protectorate status within the Empire. We will guide your development, manage your resources, and ensure you don't accidentally destroy yourselves with technology beyond your understanding. Sarah allowed her expression to shift to one of concern. Protectorate status. I'm afraid I don't have the authority to make such decisions. Our planetary council would need to. Commander Vex. Thor interrupted their patterns, now pulsing with harsh reds. Perhaps I should be more clear. This is not a negotiation. The Empire has detected your primitive attempts at colonizing nearby systems without our protection. You would inevitably encounter species far less benevolent than ourselves. Accept our generous offer, or face the consequences of rejection. Sarah's crew tensed, but she maintained her facade of diplomatic concern. High Marshal, please understand, you must consult with Earth's leadership. We've never encountered a situation like this. Very well. Vex Thor conceded with obvious disdain. You have one planetary rotation. To communicate with your leaders, we will expect your surrender. Your acceptance. By then the transmission cut off abruptly. Sarah waited exactly 3 seconds before activating the quantum entanglement communicator, hidden beneath layers of primitive electronics control. This is Meridian Operation Trojan Horse is proceeding exactly as projected. Arcan forces have made contact and delivered their ultimatum. The response came instantly, bypassing all conventional detection methods. Understood, Meridian. Ghost Fleet is in position. Continuous plan. The Empire's arrogance will be their undoing. Sarah looked at her crew, no longer hiding their true capability and training. Send the coded signal. Tall our primitive colonies. It's time to show the galaxy why humanity spent a century hiding our true strength. As the Arcan dreadnoughts loomed outside, none of their advanced sensors detected the quantum ripples spreading through space, the wake of hundreds of stealth vessels moving into position. Humanity's Ghost Fleet, led by the HMS Shadowblade, was about to reveal Why you should never mistake patience for weakness. The true first contact war was about to begin, and the Arcturians had no idea they'd already lost. The Ghost Fleet Rise's Admiral James Harper stood on the bridge of the HMS Shadowblade watching the quantum display as hundreds of stealth vessels emerged from their dimensional pockets. The massive ship, nearly invisible against the backdrop of space, represented everything humanity had kept. Hidden for a century fleet status, he commanded his neural link, pulsing with data from every ship under his command. Captain Maya Patel's voice came through the quantum network. All vessels reporting ready. Admiral, quantum shields at full capacity phase. Cannons charged. The Aryans still haven't detected our presence? The Shadowblade's bridge hummed with barely contained energy. Unlike the crystalline technology of the Aryans, humanity had developed something far more advanced: quantum manipulation technology that didn't just bend space but rewrote its rules entirely. Signal from the Meridian, Lieutenant Park announced. Commander Chen reports the Arcan are growing impatient. They're charging weapons. Harper smiled grimly. Right on schedule. Begin Phase 1 across the void. The quantum network carried his orders instantly. 100 stealth vessels, each one more advanced than anything the Arcan had ever encountered, moved into position around the Empire's dreadnoughts. Sir Maya reported. The Arcan flagship is powering up their main crystal cannon. They're targeting the Meridian. Let them fire. Harper ordered. Commander Chen knows what to do. In the quantum display they watched as the Arcan dreadnought unleashed a devastating beam of crystalline energy at the seemingly defenseless Meridian. The beam struck and passed straight through the ship as if it wasn't there. Holographic projection systems functioning perfectly. Park confirmed. The real Meridian is safely out of range. Harper straightened his uniform. Open a channel. To High Marshal Vex Thor. Let's show them what they're really dealing with. The Arcturianless face appeared on the quantum display, their bioluminescent pattern still glowing with superiority that was about to change. What trickery is this, Vex Thor? Demanded your primitive vessel. I am Admiral James Harper of the Terran Ghost Fleet. Harper interrupted, his voice calm but carrying absolute authority. That primitive vessel was a projection, just like humanity's apparent technological level for the past century. As he spoke, the Shadowblade and its escort ships dropped their quantum stealth fields. The Arcturians watched in shock as hundreds of advanced warships materialize around them, their black holes seeming to absorb both light and hope. Impossible. Vex Thor whispered, their patterns now pulsing with fear. Your species, you couldn't have hidden this, but we did. Harper replied, while you watched our fumbling steps into space. We studied you while you planned to enslave us. We prepared to show you why that was a mistake. Your crystal technology is impressive, High Marshal, but quantum manipulation, that's something else entirely. To demonstrate his point, Harper noted to Maya, the Shadowblades, quantum drives activated, and the massage ship simply ceased to exist in normal space, reappearing instantly behind the Arcturian flagship. Your empire has subjugated dozens of species by appearing at their doorstep with overwhelming force. Harper continued, you mistake patience for weakness, preparation for primitive development that ends today. Vex Thor's patterns were now strobing with panic. You dare threaten the Empire? Our fleet, your fleet is already surrounded. Harper cut in, those quantum ripples you're detecting, that's just the first wave. Humanity doesn't want war, Marshal, but make no mistake, we're ready for one. The quantum displays showed more Arcturian ships arriving through their crystal drive FTL, responding to their flagship's distress call. Harper remained unimpressed. Lieutenant Park showed them a fraction of our capabilities. The Shadowblade's phase cannons powered up their quantum-enhanced beams, targeting specific points on the nearest Arcan dreadnought. The shots passed straight through their supposedly impenetrable shields as if they didn't exist, precisely disabling their weapons and drive systems without causing any casualties. That was a warning. Harper declared, your shields operate on crystalline harmonics, impressive technology, but quantum beams exist in multiple dimensional states simultaneously. You can't block what isn't entirely there. What do you want? Vex Thor asked, their superior attitude completely shattered. Simple, humanity will take its place in the galaxy as equals, not slaves. You will acknowledge our sovereignty, withdraw your forces, and begin diplomatic relations properly. Or Harper let the threat hang in the air as more Ghost Fleet vessels revealed themselves. each one a testament to humanity's true technological advancement. You have 1 hour to contact your Imperial Command and deliver our terms. Harper finished, choose wisely. High Marshal Humanity, spent a century preparing for this moment. How long has your empire spent preparing for us? As the transmission ended, Maya approached Harper's command station. Do you think they'll accept? Harper watched the Arterian ships on a quantum display, their crews undoubtedly in chaos as they realized the true situation. They don't have a choice. The question isn't whether they'll accept, but how many other subjugated species will rise up when they learn. Learn the Empire isn't as invincible as they thought. The Ghost Fleet maintained its position. Hundreds of quantum-enhanced vessels surrounding the Arkan forces after a century of hiding. Humanity have finally revealed its hand. The galaxy would never be the same. Battle of the Void Gates. The Aruan Empire's response came not through diplomacy, but through the largest fleet mobilization in galactic history. 500 crystal drive warships converged on the Void Gates, ancient mysterious structures that served as the galaxy's primary FTL travel network. Their strategy was simple: control. The gates contain humanity. Captain Maya Patil now stood on her own bridge aboard the HM Spectre, watching the massed Arkan armada. Through quantum sensors, the Spectre sister ship to the Shadowblade held position near the Persest Void Gate, cloaked in quantum fields that made it invisible to conventional detection. They're really going. Alan, her exo-commander David Chen, observed, practically stripped their core worlds of defenses for this. Maya nodded, studying the tactical display. Pride is expensive. Senior command knew they wouldn't accept their loss of face. That's why we're here. The quantum network lit up with Admiral Harper's transmission from the Shadowblade. All Ghost Fleet vessels execute Operation Checkmate. Remember your training today. We show them why humanity chose the Void Gates as our battleground. Maya straightened in her command chair. Battle stations begin quantum targeting sequence. The Spectre's crew moved with practiced precision. Unlike the rigid hierarchy of Arterian ships, human vessels operated on a Neuralink command structure, allowing for instantaneous coordination and adaptation. Multiple C-drive signatures. Tactical Officer Sarah Wong reported they're using the gate's energy field to boost their weapon yields, just as expected. Maya smiled. Deploy quantum mirrors. The Spectre released dozens of small devices that looked like simple satellites to Arkan sensors. In reality, each was a quantum field generator capable of redirecting energy attacks back at their source. The first Arkan strike came as a massive crystalline beam, powerful enough to shatter a planet. It passed through the space where they thought the human fleet was hiding and met the quantum mirror's mirror array, functioning perfectly. Sarah announced, and a beam redirected on the tactical display. Maya watched as the Arcturians' own weapon turned back on them, shattering the shields of 3 of their dreadnoughts. The enemy fleet reeled in confusion. Now Maya ordered, execute primary attack pattern. The Ghost Fleet move is 1. Quantum drives activated simultaneously as hundreds of human ships phased in and out of normal space, appearing at seemingly impossible positions throughout the Arterian formation. The Void Gate's ancient energy field, rather than hindering them as the enemy expected, actually enhanced their quantum capabilities. Multiple targets locked. Sarah reported phase cannons charge fire at will. The space around the Persis Gate erupted in quantum-enhanced warfare. Human ships, virtually invisible to Arkan sensors, struck from constantly shifting positions. Their phase cannons signed crystal shields, entirely precisely targeting propulsion and weapon systems. Enemy fleet attempting Tor group. David reported they're trying to form a defensive sphere around their command ship. Maya opened a channel. To Admiral Harper, sir. They're following the predicted pattern, ready to execute Phase 2. Proceed. Captain Harper's voice came through clearly. Show them why we spent decades studying the void. Gates. Maya turned to her engineering chief. Dror Rajpatal, Doctor. Activate the quantum resonance device. R's fingers flew over his console as he initiated. The device, humanity's greatest secret weapon base, on their research of the Void Gate, its ancient technology. It could manipulate quantum fields on a massive scale. Resonance field establishing RAG, reported gate energy synchronizing with our quantum matrix. The Void Gate's mysterious symbols began to glow with unprecedented intensity. The Arterian fleet, still trying to maintain their formation, suddenly found their crystal drives failing by the Founders and Arterian commanders' panic transmission. Cut through all channels. What are they doing to the gate? Maya opened a broad-spectrum channel. Attention Arterian fleet. Your crystal drive technology is now offline. You relied too heavily on the void gate's standard energy field. We, however, learned to control it. The quantum resonance device continued its work, creating a field that completely nullified the Arians' advanced technology, while enhancing humanity's quantum systems. Ship after ship lost power, floating helplessly in space. Enemy fleet is disabled. Sarah reported 87% of their vessels have lost primary power. The remainder are operating on minimal emergency systems. Maya stood watching as the mighty Arkan Armada drifted, powerless, around the Void Gate. Signal Admiral Harbor, the Perseus. Gate is secured. The battle had lasted less than 30 minutes. The greatest fleet in Arterian history lay paralyzed, defeated, not by overwhelming force, but by humanity's deeper understanding of the technology they'd all taken for granted. Incoming transmission from the Arterian command ship. Communications reported there, requesting terms of surrender. Maya allowed herself a small smile. Tell Admiral Harper, the board is clear. Their game can begin. The Battle of the Void Gates would go down in history, not just as humanity's first major victory, but as the moment when every species in the galaxy realized that the old order had changed forever. The question now wasn't whether the Arkan Empire would fall, but what would rise in its place. The alliance shifts. The Grand Council chamber on New Geneva Station hummed with tension as representatives from 30 different species gathered for an unprecedented meeting. 3 weeks after the Battle of the Void Gates, the galaxy's political landscape was transforming, faster than anyone had predicted. Drelina Santos, Earth's chief Senate diplomat, stood at the central podium, her dark eyes scanning the assembled aliens. The chamber itself showcased humanity's true advancement, quantum field architecture that could reconfigure itself to accommodate any species. Environmental needs. The Arian Empire's fleet remains disabled but intact. She began, her voice carrying clearly through personalized translation. Fields as promised. No lives were lost. Humanity seeks change, not conquest. A Nexian delegate, their crystalline forms shimmering with nervous energy, spoke first. For 3 centuries, our people paid tribute to the Empire. We believed their crystal technology was insurmountable. Yet you, they paused, facets glinting. You turned it off like a simple light. Not just turned it off, rumbled Kyo, the massive Void Walker representative they mastered. The gates themselves, technology, our oldest records, called Divine Belina, raised her hand for quiet as excited discussions broke out across the chamber. Humanity spent a century preparing, yes, but not for dominance. We prepared for this moment, the opportunity to reshape galactic civilization into something better. The Kamer's quantum displays activated, showing the disabled Artean fleet still floating around the Perseus Gate. Alongside it, data streamed, showing the Empire's rapid political collapse as subjugated worlds declared independence. Already 17 former Imperial worlds have requested diplomatic relations. Alina continued. The Arkan Empire's grip was based on technological superiority and fear once those were broken. And what guarantee do we have? Interrupted Tia, the Seldavian ambassador, their feathers bristling, that humanity won't simply replace the Empire. Your quantum technology clearly surpasses anything in known space. Alina smiled. An excellent question, which is why I'm authorized to make this announcement. Humanity will be sharing our quantum technology with all species who join the new galactic cooperative. The chamber erupted in shock. Even the stoic Void Walkers showed surprise, their ethereal forms pulsing with unexpected colors. Not all of it, obviously, Alina clarified as the commotion settled, but the basic principles enough for each species to develop their own quantum applications. We believe true stability comes through balance, not dominance. She gestured, and the quantum displays shifted to show technical schematics. These are the plans for basic quantum field generators. Consider them a gesture of good faith. Our scientists are prepared to help your research teams understand and adapt the technology. The Aryan delegates' crystals chimed with excitement. This would revolutionize our entire civilization. Our crystal tech could be enhanced beyond imagination. Precisely. Alina nodded. Each species has unique insights, unique approaches. Humanity doesn't want subjects or servants, we want partners as. The delegates pored over the technical data. A new transmission cut through the chamber's communications. Admiral Harper's hologram appeared, his expression grave. Dr. Santos, we have a situation, long range. Quantum sensors have detected something, concerning something's coming through the outer void. Gates, something big. Alina felt her heart rate increase, but kept her voice steady. Arcan reinforcements, no. Harper's image flickered slightly. The energy signatures are completely unknown. Whatever's coming, it's not from any civilization. We've encountered. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank. In the galaxy's political upheaval had attracted attention from beyond known space. How long, Elena asked. At their current speed, 3 days until they reached the Persis Gate network. Doctor, the void gates are activating in patterns we've never seen before. Whatever built them. I think they're coming to check on their property. Elena looked at the assembled delegates, seeing their fear and their hope. The Aruan Empire had fallen, but that was just the beginning. Now humanity and their new allies face something far more mysterious. Well, she addressed the chamber. It seems the galaxy needs to stand united sooner than we expected. Ed, who's with us? One by one, the delegates stood former enemies and neutral parties alike. They recognized that humanity had not just defeated the Empire, they had offered a new way forward. As the chamber erupted in declarations of support, Alan's quantum communicator pulsed with a message from Earth Command. Operation Phoenix is now in effect. May. Whatever's coming, find humanity and its allies ready. The true test of the galaxy's new order was approaching faster than anyone had anticipated, but this time they would face it together. Dawn of a new era. The Piraeus Void Gate blazed with unprecedented energy, its ancient symbols pulsing with colors that defied description. The combined fleet of the newly formed Galactic Cooperative held position. Thousands of ships representing 8 species united for the first time. In galactic history, Admiral Harper stood on the Shadowblade Bridge watching the quantum readings spiral into patterns never before recorded beside him. Dr. Lena Santos and the Void Walker Cal monitored their own specialized instruments, the gates, quantum signatures evolving. Cal's ethereal voice resonated through the command center. These patterns, they're like nothing. In our ancestral memories, the fleet had been positioned according to humanity's most advanced theoretical models. Ships equipped with both quantum and crystal tech formed the outer defensive rings, while pure quantum vessels like the Shadowblade maintained position near the gate itself. Energy spike. Lieutenant Park's voice cut through the tension. Something's coming through. The Void Gate center erupted in a cascade of impossible geometries. Through this dimensional breach emerged the single vessel, if it could be called that. It seemed to exist in multiple states, simultaneously, its form shifting between crystalline perfection and quantum probability. By all that exists, Cattle whispered. The architects themselves. The mysterious vessel dwarf even the largest ships in the cooperative fleet. Its surface rippled with technology that made humanity's quantum advancement look primitive by comparison. We're being hailed. Communications reported the signal. It's reaching us through quantum crystal and dozen other channels simultaneously. Harper exchanged glances. With Alina, this was the moment that would define galactic civilization. Open all channels. The bridge's quantum display filled with an image that took their breath away. The beams aboard the vessel were both familiar and impossible. They seemed to be made of pure energy, their form suggesting the basic patterns that all known species shared. Children of the galaxy. The being spoke their words, translating perfectly into all languages simultaneously. We are the architects. We have watched and waited, and now you have surprised us. Elena stepped forward. We are honored by your presence. I am Dr. Elena Santos of Earth, and we know who you are. The architect interrupted, its form shifting like starlight on water. We know all of you. We built the void gates as a test, scattered them across the galaxy, and waited to see who would truly understand them. A test, Harper asked. Many species discovered the gates. Some mastered crystal technology. Others found different paths, but you, humanity. The architect's form pulsed with what might have been approval. You did something unexpected. You learned, you hide, you prepared, and then you share it. The quantum displays showed images from recent events, the Battle of the Voidates, the formation of the Cooperative, the sharing of technology. The Arkan Empire hoarded power. The architect continued, others sought only to serve or survive. But you understood the true purpose of advancement, to lift all who would rise with you. A new signal emanated from the architect vessel, flooding the quantum network with data. These are the full schematics of the void gates and much more. You have proven worthy of the legacy we left behind. Elena's eyes widened as she scanned the preliminary data. This is beyond anything we imagined. It is yours now, all of yours. The architect's form encompass the entire fleet. The galaxy enters a new age. Use it wisely, and you call asked, will you stay? Our time has passed. We guard the spaces between galaxies. Ensuring tests like this continue. But here now in this galaxy, the future belongs to those who choose to face it together. The architect vessel began to pulse with energy. Remember this moment. Children of the galaxy, remember that it was not conquest or submission that brought you here, but the choice to stand as equals as suddenly as they had arrived. The architects vanished, their vessel dissolving into quantum probability. But they left behind more than just advanced technology. They left a legacy, proof that the galaxy's greatest achievements come not from domination, but cooperation. Admiral Harper looked at the assembled fleet, at the former enemy, now turned allies, at the endless possibilities. The architect's gift presented. Send word to all cooperative worlds. He ordered. The void gates are just the beginning. Together we have a galaxy to explore. Elena smiled, watching the quantum displays show celebrations erupting across countless worlds. The Aryan Empire's fall had not led to chaos, but to something new, something better. Humanity had hidden their strength for a century, revealed it in a day, and used it not to conquer but to unite. Now with the architect's blessing and legacy, the real journey could begin. The dawn of a new era had arrived, and it belonged to all of them.